Empire Broadcasting presents the Professionals Roundtable with Michael David.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Empire Broadcasting. I'm your host, Michael David, and today we have with us the Roundtable. He is the owner at Exodus Studio Productions. It's Anthony Paiano. Hello, Anthony. How are you today?
Good. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, of course, of course. So tell us, Anthony, who are you and what do you do?
Well, I produce music. I have a recording studio that I've been operating for quite a while. I do produce a lot of music for a lot of local talent. I do a lot of TV, multimedia. The studio is predominantly an audio production and post-production facility. We specialize in recording, producing, composing original music for songwriters, bands, video, TV, multimedia, and voiceover and radio. And our services also include remixing or editing of existing music, as well as production of professional demos, CD projects, albums. We also provide custom CD art design, and we also produce music videos.
Wow, so you guys do the full gambit, don't you? What made you want to go into this line of work in the first place?
Well, when I was a lot younger, I wanted to learn how to play an instrument. It kind of started there, and having grown up in an Italian upbringing household, my parents thought the accordion would be the choice instrument. And so I did that for quite a few years, and as I got older, it wasn't exactly the coolest instrument with my peers, so I thought I kind of dabbled into the piano, and I spent some time with that. And then once I had completed high school, I had to decide what I was going to do with my life, and I thought, well, music is the only thing I really enjoy doing. So I enrolled in one of our local colleges in Toronto here, Humber College. They have a great music program. So I studied jazz, and as the years went on, I decided to pursue a little bit of writing as well, because we had a choice to make at the time if we wanted to do performance or a little bit of both. So I chose a little bit of both, writing, and I took composition, arranging, theory, harmony, all those sort of courses that added quite a skill set to what I do now. Yeah. And when years later, I did a lot of performing, playing a lot, and then I decided that I wanted to do more recording. So my wife and I bought a house, and we built a recording studio in the home, and we did it mostly at the beginning, it was mostly for our own personal projects, but kind of evolved into a business because we had other people that wanted to record here, and so I got hired to compose and arrange their own original music.
What do you think is something that Exodus Studio Productions can bring that maybe other studios can't?
Well, I've always tried to focus on a one-stop type of place, right? And because I am a musician, a performer as well, it really does, a piano player, that it really does help when people come and they want you to work on their material. So it's not just an engineer where, you're pressing a lot of buttons and stuff like that. I'm actually a performer as well, so I really understand the music part of it, coming up with an original, working on an original music because of my background. So I try to turn the studio sort of into a place where there's not you just don't have to go anywhere else, kind of thing, right? The one-stop type of place.
Absolutely, absolutely. What is the first step for someone who is looking to record?
The first step? Well, first of all, I think they need to, look at their budget. That's one of the most important things, because what ends up happening is a lot of people either run out of money or they don't have enough money to get a decent project recorded. So it ends up sounding kind of like mediocre, right? So they have to, first of all, recognize the type of budget they have and how much money they have to work with. And then they start to move towards the recording process. Either it's recording original material, either it's a band recording original material, or it's just a solo artist who wants to take some of their original songs and turn them into an actual. A lot of them are just lyricists, so they don't necessarily know how to put other instruments together. So they need to sort of kind of plan out how they're going to approach the process. And there's a few steps along the way. So the more that you can have planned out, the more successful the end product will be.
Absolutely, absolutely. What are some things that you feel that we should look for when we're looking for a studio?
Well, obviously most studios do have websites, so you first of all want to go and listen to what they've accomplished, the projects that they've worked on, the quality that they're hearing. You can also we also provide free consultations, so they can just come to the studio, check it out, listen to the material that has been recorded, or see some of the videos that have been produced. So they get a true perspective on what it's going to sound like once they're done. So that's important to do your homework. And the other, I think, very important thing, because you're going to be working with the producer, in my case, I'm the producer, on numerous hours, so you want to make sure that you get along with the person. There's a lot of people that when they work on material, a lot of times the songwriter, when he listens to it, he may not be totally happy. He might want to make some changes. So the producer has to be, composer has to be flexible to say, hey, okay, even though you may not necessarily agree with what they're requesting, I think it's important that you become flexible. So there has to be a very good working relationship between the producer, composer, and the person who is hiring you.
Absolutely. Anthony, we thank you so much for coming on here today. It's been such a pleasure to have you. We want to send everyone to your website, which is exodusstudio.ca. That's exodusstudio.ca. Exodus is spelled as in the book, EXOD as in David, US as in Sam, studio.ca. Exodus Studio, 2 S's there, back to back, .ca. You can also email Exodus at exodusstudio.ca. That's Exodus at exodusstudio.ca. You can also go ahead and phone 905-824-8382. That's 905-824-8382. Thank you so much, Anthony, for coming on here today. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Michael. Appreciate
Of course. And to everyone else, we'll be back right after these messages.
Empire Broadcasting presents the Professionals Roundtable with Michael David, 9 to 2 p.m. Hear what's hot in the professional world. Timely topics to propel your career to the next level. Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. exclusively on Empire Broadcasting.